Hey everyone, I'm Suzie Kenner with the Devil's Lake Chamber of Commerce, and we are sitting in the Burdick Arena this afternoon talking with Terry Wallace, who is the director superintendent of the parks here in Devil's Lake. Hi Terry.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Very good.
Wonderful. So we're sitting here, and these get pre-recorded, and I see ice isn't quite yet out on the arena out here. Is that
Well, we did have ice this summer for about 3 weeks, but we'll be actually putting ice on here in about a week here, so
Okay.
get ready for 6 months of ice.
Perfect. So about the time this airs, we'll have ice going and hockey starting and
Yes,
skating.
correct.
So perfect. So let's start today and just let everybody know. Let's start with the basics, and let's start with the parks that we have in town. Can you give us a little overview of those?
Okay, I don't know if too many people know, but we do have 6 or 7 parks in Devil's Lake. I mean, most people only think of us having Roosevelt and Ruger, which are our 2 main parks, but we do have Roosevelt Park, Ruger Park. We have the Roundhouse Park, which is on the west side of town in a residential area. We have the Oddfellows Park, which is more just a wildlife habitat and open space, and it's used for sledding. Now that's down by the old KDLR radio station. And we have Southside Park, which is south of Max Hardware, and we have Lakewood Park out in the Lakewood area. And then of course we do have the golf course too. It's not really a park, but it is part of the park district now.
Okay.
So,
And I know this this summer or last summer, Lakewood playground area got quite the overhaul, correct?
yes, Lakewood Park, we've made some nice improvements out there. We put a whole new playground out there. That got done a year ago, and it was ready to go this spring. And we've done some work on the beach out there, and made some other improvements in that area. So I mean, Lakewood's a nice little park for the people out in that area because it's got modern bathrooms. It's got all that new playground equipment. It's got a softball field. It's got a outdoor hockey rink. It's got basketball courts, and it's got the beach right there, and you got the boat landing right there. So it's got pretty much everything that you can think of in the park.
And I know that you put in a fishing pier a few years ago too,
Yeah,
on the high landing or high water boat ramp, and I know going through there occasionally in the evening bite, there's quite a few fish that come out of there.
Yeah, that's been a nice improvement. We put that out there. I think it's probably getting close to 10 years now that we've had out there, and that gets used quite a bit.
Okay. And then how about some of the different amenities at the parks? Can you talk a little bit about what is offered at Roosevelt and Ruger Park?
Yeah, okay, so like Roosevelt, which is, like I said, one of our main parks, and it's probably the nicest park because it's got a lot more trees than Ruger, although Ruger Park is a very busy park in the summertime. But Roosevelt Park has, indoor shelters. It's got 3 outdoor shelters. It's got 5 softball diamonds, restroom facilities, nice big playground area, a couple horseshoe pits. It's got the baseball field out there. It's got sand volleyball courts, and the Bill Drum hockey arena is out there. It's got a walking path around it, and of course the band shell, which is used just for a lot, especially the last couple of years with the Fort Taunton Little Theater and other events out there. And one other thing that they use it now for is the basketball courts out there. We put on pickleball court lines, so it's getting used for pickleball games now too out there. So as well as the pickleball, we also put pickleball lines at the tennis court over by Prairie View School. So pickleball is now being played at both Roosevelt and over at the tennis courts. And pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States.
Okay. Huh, interesting.
Then of course we go to Ruger Park. Ruger Park, that park's only about 25 years old or so, and it's really turned out to be a nice park. It's got a nice playground area. It's got a 4-field softball complex. Of course, there's the swimming pool and water slider over there. It's got an outdoor fitness area. It's got sand volleyball court, the big Ruger Park activity building over there, which gets used heavily. It's got a couple outdoor shelters. It's got an outdoor skating rink. It's got outdoor basketball courts. It's got a nice big walking path that goes out throughout the park. It's got a dog park, disc golf course, a soccer complex, and a new Cal Ripken field that was built there about 3 years ago, which has hosted 2 big state tournaments here just in the last 3 years. So that's, the park's really turned out to be a nice park.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of amenities there.
Yes, and then of course we have a couple other smaller parks. We got the Roundhouse Park, which is located in the west side of town, and that doesn't have a lot over there. It's just more of a community park. It's got, but it does have a playground equipment over there. It's got a soccer field, basketball court, and a picnic shelter, and then some green space.
Okay.
And then you got the South Side Park, which is south of Max Hardware. That's got new playground equipment, picnic shelter, outdoor basketball court, and that's got a large green space area.
Okay.
And did I mention?
There's one other park, it doesn't really fall under your jurisdiction, but you had a big hand in helping with it, but it's the East Ditch Playground and shore fishing pier area. That is right behind Walmart. So if you go to Elks Drive and go towards the lake, you can see the playground area over the dike, and that's a nice area to go and play and just see the water.
It's a nice little playground over there, and obviously the water is down right now, but that sure is a beautiful fishing pier out there.
Yeah, and nice playground, new playground as well. So, to go back to the golf course a little bit, how many years ago did you guys take that over?
We took over the golf course in 2016, so this would be our sixth year of having the golf course, and it's just gotten busier out there and busier out there every year, and this is by far the best year that we've had. Last year, COVID year, it was actually really busy because people could social distance out there. So I think that was one of the reasons why I did so well last year. But surprisingly, this year is a lot better than last year. I mean, this year's just been really, really good. And of course, we we put that floating dock out there this it'll be about the second week in June.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's really turned out to be a very nice amenity, and it's got room for 8 boats to dock their boats and come up and come to clubhouse to eat or go out and go golfing or whatever you want to do. And then of course we do have the kayak rentals, and we started doing that about the mid to later part of July. And once it started, we had a lot of rentals there that were the first 3-4 weeks that we started using it. I think that's just going to get more popular as time goes on too. Yeah. So that was a nice addition. And then one other thing that we're going to do, it'd probably be done here any time now, is we're putting all new cart paths on the golf course, and that's going to be a major addition to that golf course, because those cart paths haven't been touched in 25 years. So they were rough and they were just wore down, and this is going to be make a really nice addition. I just think that's going to improve the numbers of people using the golf course too. So I just looking for it to get better and better out there.
Well, and speaking of numbers, I know that your golf nights are improving too. Men's league numbers and women's league too on Wednesdays.
Yeah, the women's league has just taken off. I mean, it's really got started here a 2-3 years ago, and the last couple of years it's been really good for women's league.
Yeah, good. So let's jump into your activities, since we're talking about activities at the golf course. I know you put out a park activities book every year that goes to all the students at the schools, and it's a really nice piece. But can you just touch a little bit on some of the different activities and programs that the park board or park district offers to the community?
I sure can. And I mean, I don't like you said, I don't think people realize how many different activities we run, but we do run a number of them for kind of being a smaller town. But I'm just going to start out with some of the activities, and I'll start out with the winter activities, which is what's coming here in the next few weeks or a couple months here. But so in the wintertime, we offer ice skating here at the Burdick Arena. And of course, we have the youth hockey that's run through us, or we help run it, I guess. We got third through sixth grade boys basketball that we run at the schools. We run an adult volleyball league. We run a 3rd through 6th grade youth volleyball league. We run an adult hockey league for anyone out of high school. We have the senior swim program that we do at the School for the Deaf that was shut down last year because of COVID, but it is going on again now.
Okay.
And that's for anyone 55 years and over that wants to just swim, and that goes on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 9 in the morning till noon. Then of course we have the outdoor hockey rinks. We have 3 of them around town that we have open. And we do have a few other activities too, but those are the main ones for the winter. But now once you get into spring and summer, summer is really busy. Spring we don't have quite as many, but once you get to like, when we can get outside again, we run the youth soccer program for grades 1 through 6, which is a really popular program here in Devil's Lake. We run swimming lessons at the School for the Deaf in the spring. We have our adult softball leagues that start about the second week in May. And we also run a couple other youth programs in the summer, in the springtime too. But then once you get into June, you know, when you get into baseball season and all the others, we have a ton of activities. Of course, the popular one is youth baseball, which we have about 250 kids that participate in that program, from ages 5 to 15, you know.
Okay.
So we get that, you know, we have they have T-ball, mites, squirts, peewees, and we run all the way up to the Babe Ruth League, which is up above. So it's great. Our ages 5 to 15, we run all those baseball programs. Then we have a Ponytail Girls softball program for ages 9 to 12. We also run a girls youth fast pitch program. Then we have like some like an arts and crafts program that we run. We run a junior chef's cooking program. We have youth tennis lessons, youth golf lessons. We have a Tiny Tots playground program. We have adult sand volleyball leagues, which have really grown in numbers just the last couple of years. And then we even have summer ice out here in the, you know, in June. That runs about 3 weeks. 3 weeks in June. And then of course we have the kids fishing camp that's been really a popular camp here for the last, well, I think it's about 18 years now we run that. It's basically almost been full every year.
I was just gonna say, that fills up every year, doesn't it?
It's been a great camp, and the kids just love it. It's gone really well.
Good.
And then in the fall we have flag football. We run the girls third to sixth grade basketball program, and we have our fall volleyball leagues in the fall too. So those are pretty much most of our programs that we run throughout the year. So, and of course, you know, we run a number of hockey tournaments and baseball tournaments and softball tournaments throughout the year. In fact, this last year we ran the Cal Ripken, the 10-year-old Cal Ripken tournament, and that's the biggest tournament that we've ever had in Devil's Lake, baseball tournament.
Okay.
It's the biggest youth tournament that's state tournament that I know that's ever been run in North Dakota.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and that went very well. It just was a super weekend.
And great economic drivers for our community as well to have those different types of events too.
Yeah.
So.
It was a great summer actually for us.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. How about any future projects?
Well,
do you have anything in the works? Because we know
yes.
you're like the best grant writer out there.
We actually are looking right now. Actually, we're going to be meeting with architect and civil engineer on doing a big improvement project at the Legion baseball field. That field's been in kind of tough shape the last few years. So we're looking at possibly putting turf on the baseball field.
Okay.
And a few other improvements out there at the same time. It's about a $750,000 project minimum. It could be even more than that. So that's one of the big things we're looking at. We're also looking at putting a new activity building at Roosevelt Park to replace the old pavilion, which would be similar to the one at Roosevelt Park, but it'll be a little bit bigger. That building at the Roosevelt Park that we use for gatherings is about 80 years old, so it's about time to replace that. So we're actually looking at that. Could be something that we could do as early as late next summer. So.
Wow.
And then you know, we're looking at some improvements, like I said, to the band shell this coming spring. We're also looking at, and we talked about it for a long time, but there's still a lot of interest in putting a splash pad someplace in you know, in one of our parks someplace.
Yep.
I think it would really be something that we could use, and you know, something for the kids. And then, we still have this thought of wanting to have some type of an indoor activity center here in Devil's Lake, which we've been trying to get for the last number of years, but we just can't get over the hump. So
Yeah.
it's still on the back of our mind. We're still kind of pursuing that. So
Okay.
those are some of the
Good.
major ones that we're looking at.
Okay. Well, and it's nice to sit down and have a conversation and cover some of these, or all, everything that the park district offers to the community, and gives a real nice oversight too of where people's tax dollars are going to, and what you guys are able to provide back to the community, the people that live here, that are growing up here, and hopefully with all these future amenities too, we can get those that are graduating and going off to college to either stay here or come back here and raise their own families in the future. So.
Right, and I think, Devil's Lake's got some nice parks and nice facilities, but I still believe that the one thing we're missing that just about every town our size and even a few smaller than us have in North Dakota is some type of indoor activity center. Because, in North Dakota, when it gets to be October, November, there's not a lot of things to do in Devil's Lake where you can go indoor and do them. I mean, if you don't like to be outside, there's really no place to go. We don't have our bowling alley anymore. We don't even have our movie theater. So I kind of feel sorry for these kids because there's really not a lot of things to do. And I just think it's really important at some point in time we get some type of indoor activity center for kids to go.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, did we cover everything that you wanted to?
I believe we did.
Where is the best place for somebody to find all of the information that we talked about today?
Okay, so we have our the Devil's Lake Park Board website is www.dlparkboard.org, and we have a Facebook page under the Devil's Lake Park Board Facebook page.
Okay, and I know you guys do a good job of updating on that Facebook page when swim lessons are coming out to register for, or any of the activities, so that's a nice place too, as kind of a reminder.
Yeah, I can't take much credit for that, Heather. That's my yeah, she does a nice job with that.
Yeah, well, good. All right, well, thank you for letting us come in today and giving us a little oversight.
Thank you for coming, and I'm glad we can get the information out so that people can see what we have to offer.